Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name's Amina. I'd absolutely love it if you could subscribe to my channel to see more from me. So in today's video, I am going to be talking about internships, how I got my internship, why I think they are absolutely invaluable. I'll also be talking about how to write a CV, how to write a personal statement, how to apply for them, and just everything to do with internships. And leave your comments down below if you want me to answer any further questions to do with internships. So I am going to be answering a few questions. I'll leave the timestamps down below, so just go to whichever section you want to go to. I'll leave all the links down below as well for the websites that I mentioned, for where you can search for internships and places that give you really good advice on writing a CV and even CV templates. I also have a service where I proofread and edit CVs and personal statements and cover letters, so my details are down below. Please contact me if you want to know. So the first question is, why internships? Why are internships important? Did you know that 59% of graduates that were hired in graduate schemes, I believe last year, completed internships during their second year in the summer? So at the end of second year, between second year and third year, they had completed an internship. Now this just highlights and really shows you the importance of internships and the fact that employers tend to really like them. They give you a chance to taste a potential career. Now in your second year of university, you probably have maybe no idea what you really want to go into unless you're in a specific career like medicine or dentistry. But if you're someone who's doing, for example, like me, biochemistry, I wasn't quite sure exactly what direction I wanted to go into. So doing an internship, I did mine in a lab at King's, and it was great because it showed me that I really enjoyed it, and it allowed me to be in an environment where others were working. There were postdocs, there were PhD students, and it gives you a taste of that career without the commitment. So I didn't have to go through a PhD to realise I actually enjoy it or don't enjoy it. An internship is a great way to give yourself a taste. I've seen people do internships in top firms like KPMG, PwC, Deloitte, retail environments. I've seen people do internships in business, in finance, in academia. There is really no limits to where you can complete an internship. So the second question is, how do I find an internship? Now this is a really good question. It isn't something that's necessarily in your face unless the university has a culture where all the students tend to go and do internships. At universities like Cambridge or Oxford or Imperial, it's commonplace for the students to just know they're going to do an internship in their second year, and they just apply for it. It's just the norm. Whereas even for me at King's College, even though it's a good university, it wasn't normal for the students to do an internship, and I just applied for it because I just thought, let me go for it and let me try it out. But it wasn't something that my friend group were doing, or that I knew anyone else that was doing an internship in the science field anyway. How would you find it? Firstly, you can speak to your career advice department or your careers department. Speak to them. They will for sure know where to go to find internships. Secondly, there are career fairs that occur. Now I'm not sure if it's too late for this, but I'm sure if you look online and you're on your website, uni websites, you'll see whether or not there are any career fairs coming up. A lot of them are for volunteering and also for internships, and for graduate schemes and jobs as well. So definitely check those out. Fourthly, you can go to your university website, and I think some universities have a section that says internships, especially certain departments, and that's how I found mine. And the fourth place is obviously online. We have the internet these days and information is at an abundance for us. There are loads of different websites that I've found just today looking and doing some research that offer internships and show you guys the jobs that are available. And like I said, I'll link them all down below, so don't worry about it. Go to the description and click on all the links and you'll be able to search for your own intern. The third question is, are they paid? The answer is yes, or they should be. I would say to search out for internships that are paid. Most of them are. I'm pretty sure that legally they should be paid, so definitely check out that before you embark on it. Make sure that it's in writing that this is how much you'll be paid, or you'll be expensed for your travels. I've seen this too many times where it's been said by mouth, like, oh yeah, we'll pay for your travel, and then when it actually comes down to it, they don't get paid. So yeah, make sure it's in writing. Make sure that you get an email or a message somewhere saying that you will be paid if that's what you've been promised, obviously. For the most part, they are paid, especially the ones at top firms like law firms or banks or finance. They're definitely well paid. In London, the rate is approximately 21,000, so obviously that's annual. So it's about £1.5 grand a month. So if your placement is 2 months over the summer, then you're obviously going to make some nice money over the summer and also gain experience at the same time. I think loads of people go and just work in retail, shop assistants, but that doesn't really give you the experience that you need for a career. So being able to go and make money but also get that experience, that's so invaluable. That will give you that tiny step up compared to your peers that don't have internships under their belt. The fourth question is, when should you apply? And the answer is right now. A lot of internships are open at the moment and they're closing towards the end of April, and some of them are open all throughout until the summer. But I would say to apply now because your stress is not as high as it will be in May and June around your exams. And it's just nice to have that peace of mind, like you know what you're going to be doing, you know that you've got this internship, you know that it's there, you know what you're doing over summer, and it's just a matter of getting through those exams and just getting to the internship in the summer holidays. The summer usually for university is like what, the whole of June almost? June, July, August, September, it's a good 4 months. So spending 2 months, 2.5 months in an internship, I think it's time well spent. Internships are super competitive. There are at least 50 applications per space, especially with the more competitive jobs. So yeah, making sure that you apply as early as you can, making sure that you really get your foot in there, and take your time to apply and take your time to do your research and write a good personal statement, cover letter, whatever you've been asked to do, CV, making sure you've got a really good CV written. It takes time. It really should be a curated document that highlights your skills, your education, your talents and your interests. My fifth question is, how does one make the most of their internship? So you've got your internship now, you've got in, how do you make the most of it? Now you could just breeze your way through, do as you're told, and you'll be absolutely fine. But you can also make the most of it by making a good impression. So speak to people around you, do tasks that you're not necessarily asked to do, go beyond. There's a way to do this with humility, I think, but definitely trying to go beyond and showing that you have taken an interest and a liking to that specific field, doing your background reading, if you know what task you're doing tomorrow, kind of just prepping for it the day before, and also just being on top of things. So when your line manager or whoever you're working with, your mentor, asks you a question, you've done it, you're on it, you know what they're talking about. That really leaves them with a good taste in their mouth, and they are more likely to want you to come back to them once you graduated. I'd also recommend keeping a log of activities, so things that you've done. It's very easy to forget what we've done and what we've achieved in life, and sometimes I'm applying for things and it says, when have you done X, Y and Z, and I really have to rack my brain to think about it every day or like every week. Just summarize the things that you've done, the activities that you were involved in, the kind of things that you were in charge of maybe, or what you've learnt, or what your strengths are this week, what you want to improve on next week. Just kind of keep a log. I think it'd be really useful for you in the future, especially as you're going to be applying for jobs maybe 6 months from now, during your third year, in the beginning of your third year. So really having that information there will be really beneficial for you. Make sure that you are dressing appropriately. If you work in an office where people are wearing ties and suits, wear that. Don't wear trainers, obviously. Kind of be aware of your surroundings, understand the culture of that company, understand what time you should come in, be punctual, have good attendance. If you do have to take time off, which is completely fine, then make sure that you communicate as early as you can to explain the situation. Just generally being professional isn't something that you're taught to do. You kind of have to learn it as you go along. Speaking with professionalism and just building those relationships, no matter how young you are, you will be the youngest person in that building, but that doesn't mean that you are any less or any lower than anyone else. Trying to be as professional as possible and showing them that you are ready to learn and you are ready to engage and be part of that community. Before you go, so on your last day, make sure you take the contact details of anyone that you feel like could be a good contact for the future. So that could be the line manager that you worked with, your mentor, someone that you met in a different department that you think you might be interested in, just anyone that you feel like could be useful. Take their contact details. I would say make a LinkedIn and just add them on there. It's much easier because you don't have to take their number or their Facebook, which is sort of not that professional. Just stay in contact, and when you do graduate or when you're close to graduating, then I'd highly recommend you to send them an email and just say, hey, I've graduated, are there any opportunities available? And they're much more likely to hire you than they are to hire a random person, because they've seen you, they've seen how you are in that environment. And yeah, definitely keep in contact, don't just walk away. And even if you hate it, you completely hated it, it wasn't for you, that's absolutely fine, but they can still be a reference for you. They can vouch for your professionalism, and they can vouch for your commitment and your attendance, your punctuality, your character, even if it's in a different field. Having a professional reference as well as an academic reference from university is a really good combination. My sixth question is, how do I write a CV? So I found a really good link down below that details all the information that you need to include in a CV, and I think it's great. I think it has all the information you need, and it's much easier to just read that than listen to me ramble. And the seventh question is, how do I write a cover letter or a personal statement? Again, I found another link that I think is amazing in detailing exactly what information you need to include, and again, I don't need to sit here and vocalize it to you. You can read that for yourself and take what you need. I do have a service where you can send me your applications, your CVs, whatever, and I can send it back to you within the next day. It is paid for, so do send me an email. I'll send you the details and an invoice. But yeah, I really hope that you guys are looking into internships if you haven't already. Mine was very beneficial. It allowed me to get a master's at Imperial because when I applied, that was my experience. Apart from that, I had no experience, and it also meant that I was able to get a PhD as well, because again, that meant I had my master's and my internship, and it was really, really good. It was really useful, even though looking back at it now, I understood nothing. And it did give me an insight of what it would be like to work in a lab. And I remember that summer that I did it as well. It was the summer of 2011. And I was fasting as well, so it was Ramadan in August. Yeah, in August I was fasting, so that was my first fast away from home, because I was living out. I was living in London Bridge, so yeah, I had to break my fast by myself. Technically my flatmate was there, but she's not Muslim, so yeah, I had to break my fast by myself, but still, I think it was such a worthwhile experience, and I really genuinely recommend it. I really feel like privileged university students are told this a lot, but those that don't come from those backgrounds don't really know about internships, and then as a result they're disadvantaged when they come to applying, and there's that vicious circle. Please leave me a comment down below telling me how your experience went, and whether you recommend an internship if you did one, and how useful it was for you. If you've already got an internship for this year, then congrats to you. I hope you have an amazing experience. Don't forget to like this video to see more from me. I'd absolutely love and appreciate that, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!